Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Melissa Hamilton. This episode of The Food Quarter is all about cake, and we're here in the kitchens of Australia's top cake decorator, Handy Mulyana. After migrating to Sydney from Indonesia over 15 years ago, Handy's established a reputation as an exceptional cake artist. Earlier this year, he was named the top decorator in the country. He's designed cakes for Rihanna and Oprah Winfrey, and like every other top chef in the country, he's appeared on MasterChef. Decorating cakes is very different to being a baker. In fact, it's closer to a form of art, and some of Handy's works look not only too good to eat, but impossible to cut. Well, Handy, as a fourth-generation cake icer, is it something you always wanted to do?
Yes. I think I knew what I want to do since probably around 14, 15 years old.
And what sort of cakes were you icing then?
Just a square cake, and my mum baked the cake, and I just do the chocolate sprinkles on the side and a bit of, decorations on the top, which I pull out from my mum's figurine cabinet. I guess that's when it starts.
And I know you went to art class for a little while.
Yeah.
That would have helped with steadying of the hand.
Yes,
and just with the
definitely.
You must be a creative person. So
I think mainly when it's helped if you have an art background is just color combinations. Look at, like, you can actually picture things and whether it's going to work out or whether it's not.
And Hanny, what sort of cakes are inside here? Is it the traditional fruit cake anymore? Or?
I think most modern bride will kind of steer away from fruitcake these days. I still have a few odds requests about the fruitcake normally if that's happened on a top tier. But again, most brides would just rather to have mud cake.
Mud cake.
So
no sponges, it would be a bit too soft.
A bit too
to hold.
soft, particularly on a shaped cake like this. Some this maybe you can do it if it's only just a normal single tier, but if it's sort of tall cake like this, then it's a little bit difficult to decorate. And also you won't have this nice smooth finish because it's just too soft to handle, to decorate as well. So.
Well, what about with something like this rabbit?
Yeah.
How much of that is cake, and what's the icing? What have you moulded there?
Okay, so this part of the body and the legs is cake, and then the top one here, people tend to experience this day with lots of medium. So I use polystyrofoam to shape the head.
And you have to carve that out.
You have
too?
to carve that out, or if you want to make it all edible, you could actually make it from Rice Krispie. Yeah,
okay.
So because it's quite sort of soft enough to mold, and you still have to carve it. People still asking not necessarily rabbit, but like Winnie the Pooh or any cartoon character that popular out there for kids. So they have their own favorite cartoon character, then we can make it.
So with the wedding cakes, what's the process when people come in? You get to know each other, and then you sort of design something together so that it's unique for them.
Yeah. Well, the bride and grooms normally come in here with sort of ideas, with their, normally they bring up the invitations as a reference, their flowers they're going to be having on the day, the decorations, the venue. Sometimes it's actually got impact on the design as well. So if you have a really kind of water view or harbour bridge view, then you don't want to compete too much with the view, so the cake tends to be a little bit more simpler and a little bit more elegant. So focus on the flowers, maybe some piping underneath it, and just maybe plain ribbon.
So finally, just what would be your number one tip for people at home trying to sort of ice their, granddaughter's christening cake, or whatever? What would you say is the most important thing?
The most important thing is to get the foundations correct. You start it nice and neat. You ganache your cake perfectly, and then once you got that perfect, then you can move on to the next level, which is covering the cake. Then you will get that perfect finish.
Great, thank you so much, Handy.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
The cake shop is a staple of the traditional shopping strip right across Australia. Often they're family businesses that have been handed down through generations, and they play an important role in regional communities. Two of our producers from ABC Open have been out to meet their local bakers.
So you got your wedding cake, you got your anniversaries, you got your christenings and engagements, birthdays, circumcisions, baptisms, you name it, just for anything. You can be any age. We're experienced girls here doing cakes for assignments and things like that. So it's just a cake for anything, even if you just want to say I love you to somebody. So it's just a matter of just tempting your taste buds. My name is Diane, I'm the owner of La Dolce Vita Davy Cakes. My first cake I ever did was my mum and dad's wedding anniversary, and it just went on from there. So I just kept on doing it for family and friends, and it's taken me ages to get where I am. It's relaxing to see what you can achieve at the end. Sometimes you wish, why do you bother? But yeah, like this week's been a bit chaos, but yeah, I still get through it. Oh, somebody always needs a cake. Always does. There's always someone there celebrating some sort of special occasion. So they just want a nice cake. If they can get it locally, why not? There is cake makers out there. They do them from home. And so there is competition out there. So far, I'm the only one that's got the shop here in Shepparton. I don't buy anything in, they're all made here. The biggest cake I ever done, and Maria and I, we did a 15-tier straight up with 10 around the base. It was humongous. And we had to make frangipanis, so many of them, and other flowers. And it started off like, I think a little 5-inch or a 4-inch or 3-inch on top or something, going down to like a 33-inch down the bottom. And it was just humongous. I just love the kids' cakes, the novelties, the challenges. They're my favourites, if I can do them or not. I don't knock it back. I just like a challenge. It's just, you think, can I do this or not? Of course you can. Why not? Give it a go.
Yeah, my name's Brett, and I've been here for 3.5 years at the Colonial Bakery in Wauchope. Yeah, we try to have the vanilla slices and the old-fashioned lamingtons, cream buns, finger buns, all the old type stuff we try to keep going. We try to specialise in birthday cakes, christening cakes, wedding cakes, all types of novelty cakes, as well as your standard basic cakes. I've been baking for 32 years. I love it.
Hey, I'm Norman Cale, and I've been baking for 22 years. Been in this business for 13 years, with my mother and father. I'm self-taught doing pies and cakes, and just from what I learnt when I was in other bakeries. And probably my daughter's birthday cakes would be the biggest one, because she always asks for heaps of different sorts of birthday cakes. So. Well, I did one on the weekend for her, which was a half slab, and it had a raised up number 7, and then all the animals around it with a pond, and had the fence. And I like the job. I don't like the night work anymore. That's why I'm down on day work after a while, after doing 18 years. And having a family now, I like to be home with my kids. But I mean, when I was a young fella, yeah, it was a good job, but it's a dying trade. So yeah, there's a lot of people are starting to go to a lot of the bigger places rather than coming to your little bakeries, and we're more pies and cakes these days than actual bread. So.
We've got a lot of suppliers along the shopping street here and around the corner. You know, we support the local people as much as we can. Most of our flour and products come from Vanilla flour, and Dawson's in Taree. So yeah, unfortunately we can't get it all up here, but we try and support as much as we can.
Well, just make sure that the product's 100% all the time. It's fresh. And we do everything from scratch, which a lot of the old people in this town like, and that's the food that they had years ago. Yeah, and just taking pride in your work, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, friendly service, got good girls in the shop, and, you know, just making a good product at the end of the day.
Smoko.
And those pieces were put together by Benj Binks in Shepparton and Wiri Asati in Wauchope. It's been sweet for the Victorian town of Ewan, but now it's all over. For the last 14 years, the Mallee towns held an annual Vanilla Slice Festival, but all that came to an end at the start of September. The celebration of the confection will live on, but just where is still a mystery. Stephanie Corsetti reports.
It was a sweet victory for the people of Oyen when Jeff Kennett decided it should be the stage for Victoria's biggest vanilla slice competition. The former Victorian Premier declared the custard-filled dessert from the Mallee Bakery was the best he'd ever tasted. Since then, thousands have flocked to Oyen for a taste of the Premier's pick, but it all ended today.
3 months we've been debating the whole decision, and we've talked closely with the community, and everybody's essentially in agreement that we've done a great job, but it's time to let it go.
But the community is finding it hard to say goodbye.
It is upsetting because we would love to have it keep on going, but it's just a shame that the same people are the ones that have to keep doing it every year and they're tired.
It's very sad that it's leaving this town. It's very big for Oyen.
Organisers hope the event will stay in the Mildura region.
I hope whoever gets it enjoys it.
After eating their way through calories of custard, icing and pastry, this year's judges awarded the final Triumph Trophy.
First place for the Great Australian Vanilla Slice Triumph 2011, to Chura Hot Breed.
A final slice of history going down a treat.
Well, for some reason, cake seems to encourage some people to go just wild. The prospect of baking might daunt some, but others just want to make the biggest cakes going around. Earlier this year in Canada, a new world record was set for the world's largest ice cream cake. It weighed a whopping 10,130 kilograms. Officials had to bring in a scale normally used to weigh commercial aircraft to verify the record. The organisers enlisted the services of engineering students from the University of Toronto to ensure the cake was structurally sound. It took 22 workers just over 14 hours to piece it together. Further south in Florida, where it's too hot for ice cream cake, instead they hold the world record for the largest cupcake. The strawberry giant weighed 680 kilograms. It was topped with sprinkles that were 12 centimetres long and a massive glacé cherry. Well, that's all for this episode of The Food Quarter. Thanks for joining me and bye for now.